Hello everybody and welcome to Love Thyself TV episode 1. And today, if my body allows me to, I am going to walk and talk and think for you at the same time. Hopefully my body allows me to do that. You're on a nice beautiful hike. It has just rained apparently. Just look around at that. And today, ooh, there's a bench. We're going to go to that bench. I'm going to jump over to that bench and then we will talk. Not just the destination, it's how you get there. Alright, I'm going to sit down at this bench and talk about shit for like 9 minutes or something. So, today I want to talk to you about the magic of solitude. The magical ability to be alone. I forgot who it was that said, all of the world's problems are caused by your inability to sit in a room alone for 30 minutes. I don't know who said that. But anyway, I want to talk about my own inner outer transformation. I want to talk to you about depression, social anxiety. I want to talk to you about everything. Everything that comes up. So what happens when you develop the ability to sit in a room alone for 30 minutes? And why is that so important anyway? Well, with my own journey, my own transformation, I guess if you want to call it that, had a lot to do with depression, had a lot to do with pain and suffering. And I recognized that I would retreat away from people. And the reason that I did that was not because of my own suffering, or now I'm recognizing that my suffering wasn't personal. It was because I saw how unhappy everyone else around me seemed to be almost all the time. And for whatever reason, I'd always been joyful. Just a happy-go-lucky kid. I guess everyone is, in a sense, and we all sort of empathize into this collective grief about what we're doing or some shit. But I definitely empathize very deeply into that grief, and I lost my center. I lost my balance. You sit out here in the trees and there are just no words. None that matter anyway. I came in here thinking I had so much important stuff to talk to you about, and you just come and sit out here in the trees. And they just humble you. They silence you. So one of the reasons that I sit alone in the trees now, regularly, not meditating, not doing, just sitting with the trees, is because trees listen. They're not waiting for you to be done with what you have to say so they can get out what they have to say. They're listening. Trees have cultivated, well, they are the art of listening. It's we humans that need to cultivate the art of listening because we're the only ones that make so much damn noise. So much damn articulate noise. Trees are chilling though. They're just taking it in. And sometimes you need that. You need a human being who can just take you in instead of, again, waiting for you to be done speaking so they can get out what they think. So an inability to be heard, or the sense of an inability to be heard, definitely impacted the journey over here. I need to drink water. I'm not going to edit out these little voice cracks and things. I'm not perfect. So you're going to hear all my voice cracks. You're going to see all my weird facial expressions. You're going to see all of that because that's all this human being. It's not just the role I'm playing. It's all of this. So back on the topic of silence and being there as a space for people. That was definitely a big thing over here. A major energetic pattern is being there as a space for people to work out whatever shit they've got, such that I've been told that I should be a therapist. Or that I could be, if I wanted to. I do kind of want to, but I don't know yet. Anyway, it requires a very rigid life path, and I'm very all over the place. Anyway, nonetheless, so being there as a space for people, I would just sit there, open up, and receive whatever energy they were unwilling to manifest anywhere else, because I empathized with them, and I empathized and I sympathized with them, and that was the problem, was not just empathy, because empathy by itself is just noticing what people around you are feeling, but sympathy is feeling what they're feeling and letting that energy transfer into you. And I thought the two were one. I thought that noticing what people were feeling also meant feeling what people were feeling, and taking it in and acting it out. I took things too seriously. I took things too personally. Whenever someone was feeling upset, it was my pain too. That was unconscious. Now, becoming more conscious, I can see, oh, that's not my pain, and it's not personal. It's never personal. Whatever anyone's going, even if they're trying to direct that energy at you, it's not personal. It's just something that they received from somewhere else that they're trying to now pass on to you. And how you respond to it determines whether or not that's successful. If you get upset, then they succeeded in passing that energy on to you. Even if you think I got upset and I told him off, so I succeeded in that conflict. You didn't succeed in that conflict because you accepted that negative energy. They gave it to you and you empathized with it. They won. What they wanted was to get rid of their shit, or transfer their shit onto someone else, or see if their shit transfers onto someone else. But the way to really win that interaction, and not win it, it's not winning, because there's no other, but the way not to not to be overcome in that situation is through silence, through stillness, through non-reactivity, through, oh, that's your energy, it's not mine. Why am I going off in your frame of mind, which is negative and unhappy, and about a lack of success, and whatever it is. Why am I following your frame of mind? Maybe I don't feel secure enough in my own. If you don't, then you go off and you empathize with everyone's anger. And anyone who's upset, it intensifies your pain. That's not leadership. Even if someone comes to you in anger and they're like trying to tell you off, it's not being a leader to curse them out. You're following their energy. I don't care if you tell them what to do and they run off and they followed your words. You followed their energy. So on this topic of death, I'm going to take on death from an empath's perspective. If you're an empath, you probably have a high sense of attunement with nature. You have a high, an intrinsic connection with the birds and the bees. But the people around you may not have that same sense of attunement. They may not be as easily comfortable with, I don't know, having a lizard on your floor or in your bedroom as you are. And so if you don't spend time in nature, you you lose that attunement with nature. And it's not because you fall out of love with nature, but because you have empathized very deeply and sympathized very deeply with the people around you. So because the people around you are afraid of nature, then you empathize into that. And that's definitely what happened over here. Was I used to be someone who could run around in the trees and climb trees and touch lizards and do all that shit. And then I sort of grew into someone who was very aversive of bugs. I stopped liking lizards and shit. I totally forgot that I loved lizards. Ooh. Shoulder switch. Ooh, keep walking this way. Just for a little bit longer. So I empathized into my familial fear around nature. And empathized because some part of me knew that they cared very much. And so I was empathizing with their fear of what nature would do to me. So I knew they cared, so I stayed away from nature. And that was very hard to articulate, and I hope that makes sense. I empathize with their fear of what nature would do to me. And I'm not afraid of nature. I'm not afraid of dying either. I'm just so conscious of how much the people around me care so much that made me grow into a fear of death. But I'm not afraid of dying. I just know that I'm valued and loved. And that's what that feeling is. That's holding me back from whatever direction I want to expand into. And so it's empathy that holds us back. We're not afraid of even succeeding. We're afraid of how our autonomy will impact those that we care about. Becoming autonomous and doing your own thing. Cleave unto thy wife and get thee from the house of thy father. I think you know what book that's from. Becoming autonomous means separating from all the love and the care that you got from your family and going, I can do this. I can go my own way. If you want a real affirmative and positive and life affirmative definition of men going their own way, that would be it. Becoming independent. And sometimes that means take your woman and go your own way. That doesn't mean go your own way away from women. Because if you're heterosexual, go your own way and do what? Go your own way and do what if you go away from women? The feminine is the energy that drives us. If you're heterosexual. So go your own way and do what? If you don't have that element motivating your life, fall apart, crumble, perhaps arise from the ashes and become something new. But most likely, if you left in spite instead of in curiosity, and what I mean with this really going your own way shit, if you go your own way out of curiosity for what's out there, you're a little Terrence McKenna, and you want to explore the psychedelic lands, or you want to explore the meditative lands, or you want to do Zen, or you want to try this out, you want to learn a martial art, then that going your own way leads to it's a rocky trajectory, but it leads to a greater personal fulfillment in the human being. But if you're just going your own way, and this is a very tiny segment of the population, a very tiny, highly dysfunctional segment of the population. And I had to stop myself because I realized I'm talking down a little bit now. A very small minority of the population has this affliction of I'm going to go my own way away from women because I see women as the problem. And that's a little counter reaction to the movement of a much larger movement of women seeing men as the problem, when really what they're saying is we see the ugliness in men as the problem. Men have a nobility to them when they go their own way, truly going your own way. In a deeper personal way, not running away from the feminine energy because it's caused you nothing but problems and women are just scared of women. It's fear. But there's an aspect of nobility in men. There's an admirability. The willingness to go off into the unknown. Find out what's there. Find out if it's really your enemy or is it your teacher. Is it an obstacle for you to overcome? Improvise, adapt, overcome. What is it really? Only you can determine that. So perhaps I'll continue on this going your own way mentality, and it's a really a two-pronged thing. And so this is what teaches me that anybody can be redeemed if you want to speak in those terms, at least early on. If you fall from grace early enough and you recognize your fall from grace early enough, then you can arise into something that you deem valuable. And because you deem it valuable, then other people around you notice that, and then they start to deem it valuable too. But it starts with you deeming you valuable. That's why it's love thyself. Know thyself. Love thyself. So if you go your own way and you go in curiosity, that's out of love for yourself. Is going and trying to experience what you want to know, what you want to explore. That's loving thyself. Then that's the path of the hero. And then the path of the Freudian Oedipal nightmare would be falling. Going your own way away from women. That's what I mean by this. Going your own way has a dichotomy to it, to where you can be redeemed, even if you do go your own way, and you go your own way in a way that's just needlessly childish and this is me talking to myself. I'm not judging these human beings. I'm judging the way I, consciousness, express myself through a particular subset of human beings. Nonetheless, something bit me. I've been bit multiple times. So as you noticed earlier, I got bit. And I hope I'm becoming more conscious, and I hope I'm starting to notice these weird alignments. I was sort of trampling around on the earth. I know some spiritual teacher, I don't know what tradition it comes from, that says, tread lightly on the earth. I wasn't treading lightly on the earth. I was using the earth as my stomping grounds, as I said my big important, ooh, look, there's a blue jay. I said my big important speech about whatever the hell I was talking about, which wasn't important at all. Not ultimately, but relatively, it's going to perhaps have a lot of significance to whoever hears this. Anyway, so I was using the earth as my stomping ground, trampling it a little bit, and I got bit up. I got punished by my karma. I think it's a bee sting. Do I want to show it? No, I'm not going to show it. So just a little. I don't really feel it. It doesn't bother me that much. But just a just to test your level of integration with your environment. It's so fine-tuned to where even if you're walking around a little bit too aggressively with nature, it notices that and it bites you a little bit. But if you're quiet, if you're humble, available, it's still with you. It's quiet with you.